Now at 10, a lawsuit looks to name the Joplin law officer involved in the accidental shooting of a Baxter Springs toddler. Plus, the Carthage City Council votes on whether to dismiss some city leaders. And Ottawa County residents affected by the Tar Creek Superfund site learn about valuable resources.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A new court motion is seeking to release the name of the Joplin police officer who fatally shot a 2-year-old girl nearly 2 years ago. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Amber Jenkins joins us in the studio now with details.
Sniper 1, a Joplin SWAT team officer, fatally shot 2-year-old Cleslin Crawford while responding to a domestic violence call in Baxter Springs in March of 2022. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office responded to a call from a woman asking for help at 340 Wyandotte Avenue in Baxter Springs. When officers arrived, Eli Crawford shot Taylor Schrute and went back into the home with 2-year-old Cleslin. According to the police, Eli started shooting at officers. The standoff lasted more than 3 hours. When law enforcement was able to approach the home, they found Eli and Cleslin dead inside. The KBI investigation indicates that 2-year-old Cleslin Crawford died as a result of a single round fired by an officer from the Joplin Police Department. That Joplin officer, also referred to as Sniper 1, petitioned the court to remove their identity from records to avoid public scrutiny. Now a motion is requesting the courts to release Sniper 1's identity. The court document states the profound interest of uncovering the truth far outweighs the privacy of Sniper 1. After reaching out to the Joplin Police Department on the matter, we received a statement from Chief Pearson stating that the case is closed and the department has no comments. I have been in contact with Cleslin's family. We'll hear from them next week. Dow, back to you.
Amber, thanks. The Carthage City Council tonight held a special meeting following Tuesday's regular meeting, which you're seeing here. At tonight's meeting, they voted to dismiss City Administrator Greg Dagnan from office. However, Mayor Dan Rife said he had to approve the dismissal along with the council and that he would not. There was also a motion to impeach Mayor Rife, but that was tabled in favor of hiring an outside attorney who could lead the council through the process. After a lengthy discussion, the council, minus Dagnan, went into a closed session. It's going to be chilly out there. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it's going to be another chilly night for us tonight. And today, at least we were warmer than what we have seen, but we're still a little bit below our average of 68. We hit 64, started at 49 during the morning hours, but tonight we're going to drop back to about 39 degrees. We should stay above that frost level. Sitting at about 51, 52 outside right now. Most of us upper 40s to low to mid 50s across the region. And thankfully, the winds have calmed down just a little bit. These are going to stay decent for us on Friday, but they'll get moving again once we go into the weekend. All right, pretty much clear skies, a couple little mid and upper level clouds streaming through. But besides that, not a whole bunch going on. It's going to be pretty quiet for us tonight, warming up over the next few days. We do have some severe thunderstorms in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Ottawa County residents this evening had a chance to learn about resources available to people impacted by the Tar Creek Superfund site. Federal, state, and tribal officials were on hand at the Miami Civic Center for this open house to connect people with resources and answer questions about cleanup efforts. Today's meeting focused on the importance of getting children blood tested for lead poisoning, also getting free soil cleanup for residents.
The buyout was in 2008 and 2009, so they were out in about 2009. The tornado through Pitcher kind of was the end of the buyout, and so there are still a few people who live in Pitcher. The buyout was voluntary.
The Tar Creek area was designated as a Superfund site decades ago due to high levels of contamination from mining waste. 6 months ago, the destiny of about 1,500 people was unclear as the Tyson plant in Noel, Missouri was closing its doors. KOAM spoke to some former employees to hear what their lives look like half a year later. They said the burden has been especially difficult, both emotionally and financially.
All of them are like family. We have all gone through a lot during the time that we were working together.
We were trying to stretch our money as best as we can. We were trying to, make sure we had everything we need in the house, food, a place to live, everything.
Both of those employees, Harper and Bradshaw, chose not to work at the plant until the very last day. They were afraid they'd be unable to find a job when many of Tyson's workforce would also be job hunting. Tomorrow, we're going to hear more about how the closure of the plant impacted the community of Knoll as a whole and its local businesses. Missouri Southern takes the first step in a 2-year-long construction project that will become what they say will be the crowning jewel of the campus. A groundbreaking ceremony today celebrates the start of work on the Roy Blunt Health and Science Innovation Center. Former senator and stakeholders attended that event. Construction of the building is set to start within the coming weeks. Health and science students will use the education centers in the facility, but the building will also serve as the campus's new welcome center.
If you really think about it, we are struggling in healthcare. We need more healthcare people, and having these types of buildings are going to make it to where people want to come here and they want to experience this and they want to learn and become a nurse or a doctor or whatever. And so having these facilities is really important, I feel like.
Construction of that center is set to be finished by the beginning of the 2026 school year. Middle schoolers in McDonald County, Missouri today got a taste of the real world. Pineville Elementary hosted an immersive life simulation event. 7th and 8th grade students were able to go through 2 simulations, a reactive one and a proactive one. The reactive simulation saw their lives go through financial and health struggles. The proactive one allowed them to make informed choices to unlock their potential.
If I have a probation officer, speak to it and not go to jail. And, don't make dumb decisions that's going to hurt you in the future, and make sure you get all your bills paid on time so you're not behind and you're not stressed out and feel like you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Pineville Elementary partnered with the Ozarks Area Community Action Corporation to pull off that simulation. Avila University in Kansas City picks up a strong left hand from Frontenac High School. John Dales has details on this senior standout taking her softball skills to the next level. That's going to be coming up later in sports. But first, a D.C. police officer raises awareness of human trafficking by taking his message across the country.
Gas station pizza.
A Neosho, Missouri school counselor has turned himself in for a statutory rape charge. Authorities say 40-year-old Jacob Oakes sexually assaulted a minor several times from 2021 to this year. After turning himself in today, he immediately posted bond. The Neosho School District says Oakes, who worked at South Elementary, was put on leave when they became aware of the allegations. Authorities have arrested a couple of people after getting information that drugs were being distributed out of a Webb City home. The Ozark Drug Enforcement Team assisted the Webb City Police in serving a narcotics search in the 700 block of Jillian Lane. Officers say they found narcotics and drug paraphernalia. 2 people, Donald and Summer Tunnel, they were taken into custody regarding numerous outstanding warrants. Pittsburgh police have arrested 2 people in connection with the fentanyl overdose death of 18-year-old Cooper Campidi. A police investigation revealed Cooper died due to a fentanyl overdose at his home in April of last year and that the fentanyl was sold in Pittsburgh. Yesterday, authorities arrested a 49-year-old Arma man and 40-year-old Frontenac woman in relation with Cooper's death. Well, formal charges have not yet been announced. Authorities are requesting multiple charges, including felony distribution of a controlled substance causing death. One man's about halfway through his journey across America, and he's reached Missouri. He's not traveling by plane or train or automobile or even bike. He's just going on his own 2 feet, but for a purpose. Alan Shope has his story.
That's the first question is, why are you doing it?
It's a 3,100-mile run from Santa Monica Pier in California to New York Central Park with a 15-pound vest over his chest. The answer to that question:
raising awareness for human trafficking. That's my why. That's why I'm out here.
Andrew says it's one of the biggest problems in the world right now, and more needs to be done to stop it.
I just want people to realize that it happens a lot more often than they might think. It happens in every single zip code in America. Doesn't matter if you're rich, doesn't matter if you're poor. This happens all over the place.
So step by step, jog after jog, it's a 78-day journey, 42 miles a day, nearing its halfway point.
Is there times where I want to just go back into the RV and I don't want to do this anymore? Absolutely. But then I realize why I'm out here.
And Andrew is not just a runner, he's also a Washington, D.C. Capitol police officer, and he was working there January 6th. He says events like that helped motivate him to do more things like this.
Seeing January 6th firsthand just made me realize I wanted to do something that created more pride in America and made more people want to rally behind who we are and the things that we can do.
As for those approaching Missouri hills the next week,
Arizona and New Mexico got me ready for all the hills I'll ever have to deal with in my life. First month I did 50,000 feet of elevation, so Missouri, I'm ready for it.
I hope his Fitbit's keeping track of those steps. That's pretty impressive. The actual number of people who are trafficked in the U.S., the number's unknown. The information is so difficult to obtain, the State Department doesn't even try to estimate it. Pitt State hosted the terrific field day event for Special Olympics athletes today. The event attracted Special Olympics North America athletes, showcasing a potential model for similar events all across North America as part of their Healthy Initiative. As always with a Special Olympics event, the volunteers turned out to lend a hand.
So we have a bunch of volunteers here today with various clubs, so health, human performance and recreation clubs, different HHPR classes, and just different therapeutic recreation classes, and just whoever wanted to sign up could to volunteer.
Those in attendance could also take in a Treats and Trails event put on by Special Olympics Kansas and local groups along Pitt State's hike-bike path. A little bit later, 13 and 17-year cicadas will soon emerge at the same time for the first time in a couple of hundred years.
Plus, our temperatures really warming up over the next few days. Details coming up. Well, of course, it was a little bit warmer for us today as we did go into the mid-60s for highs, but very windy across the region at times. We had winds gusting 30 upwards to 40 miles per hour, but plenty of sunshine. We have clear skies right now. Here's a nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, pretty much clear skies. A few little clouds kind of skirting through. It's not a big deal. We're going to have clear skies tonight. We're going to have clear skies tomorrow. In fact, here's our weather over the next few days. You can see this ridge of high pressure. When we get a ridge of high pressure, we get fair weather, and we usually start to warm up. And that's what we're going to see. Then here's our next storm system off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. That will start to affect us early next week. That's going to be our next good shot to get showers and thunderstorms. Also some severe weather. In fact, anywhere in the yellow, we could have strong to severe thunderstorms and even a higher probability. Kansas, Oklahoma, out toward Wichita, Oklahoma City, down through parts of Texas. Still 4 days away, but we want to watch it closely. And then the severe risk shifts farther east as we get into Tuesday, but still our area could get some early afternoon severe thunderstorms on Tuesday. So a lot to watch as we get into next week. Until then, we look pretty good, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. Thunderstorms, so here's Monday evening, develop central parts of Oklahoma, and then race in as we go into Monday night. Push through by Tuesday morning, and then early afternoon, we get another little line that pops up and races off toward the east. So a lot to watch with this storm system over the next few days. Now, until then, we look fine. We just have a slow warming trend. It's going to be a cold start, 39 or 40 in the morning. Sunny skies, lower 60s by noon, and I think most of us will get up about 70 for a high tomorrow. 69, 70, 71 degrees. Tomorrow night, not near as cold. We drop back only down into the mid 50s for overnight lows. And then look at this on Saturday. It's going to be very windy, but our high temperatures press 80 by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. All right, so 39 to start, 63 by noon, 69 by 4 p.m. Plenty of sunshine on your Friday and a high temp of 70 degrees. And thankfully the winds have calmed down outside for us right now, and they're going to stay fairly light as we go into Friday. But once we get the big warm up on Saturday, here we go again. We get gusts in that 30 upwards to 40 mile per hour range by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. All right, high temp 70 tomorrow, 80 on Saturday, 84 on Sunday, 83 on Monday, but that severe threat moving in Monday evening and then possibly again Tuesday, and then 85 next Wednesday. So, I mean, we have a really 5-6 day stretch of pretty warm temps.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good weekend. I'd like to go fishing, but it's going to be too windy for me to get out on the water. Oh, well. I'll find something else to do. I might fish anyway. Thanks, Doug. A massive cicada invasion is expected to hit parts of the U.S. as early as this month. Massive, I say. Why massive? Well, for the first time in more than 200 years, 13-year and 17-year cicadas are reaching adulthood and emerging from the ground at the same time. In some places anyway, 16 states, mainly in the South and Midwest, will be swarmed by trillions of them, with Illinois and Iowa expected to experience both broods.
These cicadas don't have mouth parts that can hurt us. They're sap-feeding insects, so although they are a nuisance as far as noise outside goes, there's no harm they pose directly to you. In fact, some people eat them. That's their own thing. I would say just enjoy their emergence because this phenomenon doesn't happen all the time.
Cicadas can damage small plants and trees, so experts suggest using netting to protect them. Protect the plants, not the cicadas, just to be clear. Still ahead, our final Thunder Thursday segment of the regular season. And Colgan and Galena baseball square off in a doubleheader. John Dales has highlights from that and more. It's coming up next.
As we're known as the
Sports, I'm John Dales. It's our final Thunder Thursday of the year here on KOAM. The NBA regular season comes to a close on Sunday. Then we turn to the playoffs. Now, the Thunder try to finish the regular season strong. They have 2 games left. OKC is currently tied with the Timberwolves for the 2 seed in the West. Both of them 1 game behind the defending NBA champion Nuggets, who hold the number 1 spot. These final few days will be pivotal for playoff seeding. Now, you can catch one of those very important games on Fox 14. The Thunder host the Bucks in our final Thunder Friday night of the year. Tip-off at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Wrestling fans, you know the drill by now. You can watch WWE SmackDown in its entirety after our newscast on Fox tomorrow night. Now, one of the top high school softball players in Southeast Kansas signs her letter of intent today in front of friends, family, and classmates to continue her career at the collegiate level. Frontenac High School senior Abby Beeman signs her letter of intent today to play softball at Avila University in Kansas City. Beeman is a 3-time first-team All-State outfielder from her freshman through junior years. She says she first heard from Avila over the summer, and the decision-making process did not take very long.
It was this summer or last summer at the California tournament, which is actually our last tournament, and then I went on a visit there and I just knew, so felt like home. It's something that I feel like a lot of kids dream of, and the fact that I even get the opportunity is just crazy. So.
Switching gears to high school baseball, Colgan and Galena meet for a doubleheader in Pittsburgh this afternoon. Both of them playing very well recently. Galena and Colgan meet on the baseball diamond for the first time this season. Future Emporia State Hornet Gus Keller on the mound for Colgan, and he gets a swing and a miss to end things in the second inning. A couple innings later, Keller gets a called strike 3. Then, with runners on, it's Keller who throws a nasty breaking ball. 6 innings pitched for him, 10 strikeouts for Gus Keller on the day. 4th inning now, Colgan up 1-0. Jack LaTurner makes a nice catch with a comebacker right to him, throws to get the runner out at third. Bulldogs get out of a jam. Now, still low-scoring game going into the 5th until Colgan as Jack Schremer hammered this pitch into the left field gap. It was 2-0 before that play. That allows 2 more runs to score, and Colgan cruises to an easy victory. They beat Galena 8-0 in game 1, and the Panthers make it a clean sweep of Galena. They win the second game as well, 5-1. Tristan Voss makes his 2024 pitching debut, goes 6 innings, strikes out 7, and picks up the win. Colgan has won 4 in a row and plays next at Parsons on Monday. Another high school softball score in the area, Columbus with a big win today against Fort Scott, 6-0. Titans take it.
All right, congratulations to them. We'll be right back. A lot of us celebrate our pets every single day, but doing so is especially important today because this day is National Pet Day. It's observed every year on April 11th. National Pet Day is dedicated to pets who might not be getting the attention and companionship they deserve. We're talking about orphaned pets, whether their owners have passed away or are ill. You'll find a lot of these orphaned pets maybe at the Humane Society nearest you. Take a moment, check it out. There are orphan pets around, and sometimes they just need a best friend. The weather is getting warmer and warmer after tonight, Doug.
Yeah, it's going to be chilly tonight. We'll drop back into the upper 30s, but 70 tomorrow, 80 on Saturday, 84 on Sunday. Now it's going to be very windy over the weekend, and then some thunderstorms could be severe moving in late Monday.
Final sports note.
We're about 4.5 months away from college football season, but tomorrow evening, Missouri Southern football plays its spring game, so getting excited for that.
Any time of year is a good time of year to talk about football.
I agree.
College, NFL, whatever. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.